What's the motherfucking deal? Welcome to The Den, the best conversation on the internet. I'm your host, Ed Honcho, aka social commentary from a realistic perspective. All the information you're going to need to know as far as the channel will be kind of scrolling through the screen as the video goes along. If you want links to all the articles, it'll be down in the description below, so make sure you check those out if you want to read them for yourself. I'm going to highlight some of the things, but let's kind of get into it. And if you want to join the conversation, we go live every night, 10 p.m. Central Time, 7 days a week. And Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Central Time, you can call into the Den line and share your own thoughts and perspectives. But I want to talk about the riots that have happened recently in Memphis. And they were behind this gentleman here, Brandon Weber. So we're going to talk about him. We're going to talk about why we keep making these kinds of people the martyrs. And I talk about, is there an issue with cops killing black people? Yes and no. And again, you have to look at each individual story for what it is. There was a story recently in Phoenix that I'm going to look a little bit more into, but it's very interesting and I have issues with that. But this story, I'm going to look at it a little bit differently. So let's kind of get into it. Let's read some articles and I'll give my commentary as we go through these. But this guy right here, this is Brandon Weber. And, notice the grill. I'm not knocking grills. I'm in H-Town. It is what it is. Notice the flag on his neck. There's going to be a common theme when you pay attention to it. So I want you to be aware of that. And again, I'm not knocking anybody. Hey, you do what you do. But remember, there's always consequences in life for the choices that you make. This is the beauty of America. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do. But always be prepared for the consequences that come with it. So let's talk about Brandon Weber. We'll start with, this is an article from Heavy. 5 fast facts you need to know. We're going to try to just run down a little bit. We're not going to waste a whole lot of time with it. So if you see here, on a car, throwing up his set, whatever it may be, somewhere out in Memphis, you know what I'm saying? So obviously, you notice the green, the common green thing. That's something to pay attention to. So what does that mean? Well, continue to pay attention. We'll get there. Brandon D. Weber was the man shot and killed in an incident involving U.S. Marshals. So not local police, U.S. Marshals. Why would U.S. Marshals get involved in the situation? Well, let's keep reading and let's find out. According to a mayoral candidate, widespread social media memorial posts, and the commercial appeal, authorities later confirmed Weber was the man dead after the incident. 20-year-old Weber was shot when marshals were serving a warrant in Frazier, and he allegedly pulled a rifle. And we're going to see something here. So remember about that rifle. We'll see what if that ties into something else we're going to be talking about here in a minute. The shooting occurred in the 2000 block of Durham, Memphis. Gulf Coast Regional Task Force, U.S. Marshal Service Task Force, about 7 p.m. local time, officials said. Now, the warrant came from Hernando, Mississippi. According to local journalists, sources tell me that a man shot by a U.S. Marshal Wednesday night was wanted for a shooting in Hernando, Mississippi, which means this man went a couple of states over and got live with somebody for whatever reason. And that reason is a man was selling a car and the suspect shot the seller 5 times. Now, why would that happen? Because what's going on right now, you have certain people pushing, hey, well, the media is just going to overlook these pictures of him being a father and him being a son and him being a graduate. There's a lot of people that have graduated that have done some off-the-wall shit, but let's get into it. And I think y'all can probably tell where I'm going to go with this. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation released a statement saying they were serving warrants to a man who rammed his vehicle to the officer's vehicle before exiting with a weapon. Let's kind of skim through it. Like I said, Gulf Coast Regional Task Force encountering male wanted on multiple warrants outside of a home at the 2700 block of Durham Street as he was getting into a vehicle. While attempting to stop, he reportedly rammed his vehicle into the officer's vehicle multiple times before exiting with a weapon. Officers fired, striking and killing the individuals. No officers were injured. Now, that's at that time. Those are the U.S. Marshals, right? There's a tweet here. You can check that out. Again, like I said, you can go read the full details of the article for yourself. And said he posted a video to Facebook about 3 hours before the shooting. I have the link to that video also in the description if you want to check that out. So several police officers and reporters, 36 officers included, their rioting began after this happened, right? This was just an unjust killing and it wasn't right. And it was just messed up that it happened. Well, let's get some more details, because I'm a person, like I said, I've been sitting on it for a couple of days. I've heard about it, didn't really look into it until a couple of people say, hey man, Honcho, you need to really check out what's going on in Memphis. And I'd love to know your thoughts on it. So I said, okay, let's see what's going on and let's kind of get into it. 3 adults were arrested and charged with disorderly conduct. One of them was also charged with inciting a riot. But again, that's just minor injuries to 36 officers. Apparently a reporter also got punched. And again, the tweets are there and everything is there. Now, I want to get to this mayoral candidate, and I had a picture of her, but I didn't include it. You can find an article looking at her name somewhere in here. But this might not be her. It says, as a March night's fatal shooting at the U.S. Marshal, I was proud of our first responders. This is the mayor. I'm sorry, not the mayoral candidate. I'm impressed by their professionalism and incredible restraint as they endured concrete rocks being thrown at them. Yeah, I mean, again, if you go back and you look at the videos and the pictures and the things that are associated with this, notice the common themes. There's certain things that I pointed out. And again, I mean, if you out there thugging, if you getting it in, I'm not knocking you. I'm not knocking you. You do what you got to do. This is my thing. I believe in people should have the freedom to do whatever it is that they want to do. But when it comes time to pay those dues, when those consequences come in, you can't get upset because this is how it goes down. You almost gunned a man down, and people came looking for you. You're going to be labeled as armed and dangerous. If you're a suspect that's labeled as armed and dangerous, they're going to approach you in such a manner. And you get labeled armed and dangerous for being armed and dangerous. And also, I think they said that they labeled him as with no concern for human life, something like that. We'll get to that. And like I said, I want to skip this because there's about 4 or 5 articles I kind of want to touch on because there's so many different outlets. If you look at who's writing what, you're going to hear a whole bunch of different stories. So let's kind of just slide through this. Let's get to the 5 facts real quick. And like I said, you can go read all the rest of the details for yourself. Said 15 Memphis police vehicles, 3 Shelby County sheriff vehicles, 5 vehicles from other agencies were damaged. They were on the scene to Memphis police officers on the scene to assist with traffic control because, like I said, there was a lot going down. Memorials sprouted up. So a lot of people, you go and read some of these memorials again. Notice a common theme in a lot of these things because people say he was an honor student, he was all that. And I'm not saying you can't be an honor student and have you a grill. I had me a grill at one point in time, But you're going to see some other things that kind of signify maybe way some people are painting him may not be accurate. Some people always want to look at people in a good light and disavow the fact, well, they're dead now, so that doesn't mean. The things you did in life can contribute to your death, and so it is important. But let's kind of get through this. A lot of memorials. This is the picture that I first noticed. They talk about a son in the corner, a college student, a father, a graduate. Okay. These are all common things, and it concerns me when people use this, even when they use like mother and she's a daughter. Well, you become a daughter by being born. Anybody become a parent. All you got to do is proceed in the right activities, and it can happen. But college student, interesting. Graduate, interesting. And then you have a picture of him, with all the money spread out. So you do all these things, and usually that money spread out thing is indicative of something else. GoFundMe was started. Now let's talk about the GoFundMe, but yet, flashing all this money, flashing all this stuff. That's a common theme, and why is that? And I know y'all like, Honcho, why you hot? It's hot in the fucking garage. I'm sweating my ass off. I'm not gonna lie. It's summertime out here in Houston. The garage is a little humid, so hey, it is what it is. If you want to contribute, hit that donation and hit that channel. The link of the donation is in. The link for the donation is under the description for the channel. Yeah. So, and I'm trying to talk fast because it's a lot to share. And I don't want to make the video super long, so forgive me if I stumble from time to time. But anyway, said GoFundMe started Brandon Weber's name, which says donation will go towards funeral expenses, trust funds for his 4 children, and an independent investigation into the shooting. How much money are they trying to raise? This is interesting. 4 kids, 20 years old. The boy was active, real active. So if you know Brandon, all he wanted was to be the best father he could for his children, the page said. Let's show the world that Memphis will stand up for Brandon the way he stood up for Memphis. Okay, well, obviously he didn't stand up for Mississippi because he went out to Mississippi shooting some motherfuckers because he wanted a car. Let me tell you, greed, materialism is a vile thing. But let's keep on going. One friend said Brandon Weber made a positive impact on so many people and had a good spirit. Good spirit gets you shooting motherfuckers because you want their vehicles, I guess. Said those who know his character can't make sense of the way his life ended. I'm sure they know. And this is what kills me, man. Y'all niggas got to stop this shit. Y'all got to stop this shit. Death in life, losing any kind of life is sad. But if you know that young man was a hot boy, he was out there in the streets, he was out there getting it in, what's going to happen? It's likely that it's going to happen. If it ain't the laws coming to get you, it's going to be the streets that's going to get you. But yet, we continue to play this ignorant role. You're just such a great guy. And I don't know him personally. Some of y'all gonna get mad about it, but you know it's the truth because you're gonna respond emotionally. If you are out there, and there's a reason that you have all these warrants after you, and some people say I don't believe it because and some of y'all just want to be blatantly ignorant. That's fine. Do what you want to do. I don't really give a shit. But I'm breaking down how I see this and what makes sense to me. But anyway, one man shared the following photo collage on Facebook. I'm posting these pictures because this is the one. Out of all the pictures the news and some of the media could have chosen, they scroll right past these, trying to destroy this young black king. Oh, God, miss me with that king. That's why I don't use the term king. I don't use the term queen, because you'll give it to anybody, you know. Not saying he was a father, a graduate, a college student, but he was also a shooter, apparently. Also, he was in them streets. Also, he was a gangster. So, like, you're going to notice, like I say, that flag is a common thing. Like, let's not play the pick and choose game. You're playing the same game that the media play. Well, they're going to ignore these and post these. Well, you're going to ignore those and post these. Again, let's have an honest collage. Post everything, right? But because you're probably in that life and you enjoy that, or that's your friend, you're going to have a level of bias. You know, hey, be honest about me. Be honest about everybody. So as B or B stacks, high school diploma photos, and that's cool. You know, it's commendable. You know, not everybody does that. So my heart is broken. Brandon worked hard during his time in Central. And then you got like a lot of stuff. A lot of this you can go and see for yourself. I really want to kind of comment on some of the pictures and things as we get down here, because I want to get through. Like I said, I don't want to make this video super long. From family, cousins. You get this picture here. That's not generally a college student pose. You know what I'm saying? That's usually symbolic of some type of hustling. And I'm not saying it's always illegal hustling. You may just be getting on your grind. But that's symbolic of something generally. It gets tied into a common thing. Y'all took my little cousin, man. Well, he tried to take somebody else's family member. Like, this is what I'm saying. We got to stop this nonsense and this bias. It's always when they're related to us and they're affiliated with us, it makes us feel so much better. But when they doing the damage to somebody else, we don't have that connection to them, so we don't give a shit. A life is a life, and I'm going to stand by that. Long live B. The love I have for Brandon still remain the same. I think a lot of people, too, when it comes to this RIP stuff, it's a pop. Somebody I knew got killed. Let me post a bunch of stuff to show I was affiliated with him so I can, you know, get some attention and get some likes. This social media shit is sick. U.S. Marshal was serving a warrant on Weber for shooting a man. Again, another photo like this. Unless he just kept that same stack of money, this young man was active. Again, got the grill and the chain, and that's symbolic of, hey, I'm trying to identify myself a particular way. Again, it is what it is. If that's how you choose to live, use your life, I don't give a shit. Do what you got to do. But there's always consequences for your actions. That's just it, point blank, period. Serving a warrant, allegedly shooting a man. Again, we talked about that. Obviously, when they were up in Memphis looking for him, they were very aware of his propensity for violence toward our victim down here. I mean, he just basically cold-bloodedly shot him 5 times. Thank God our victim is alive. Okay? Said that the champion described shooting as cold-blooded and premeditated. Man, look. The man was going down there to say he was going to go buy a car. He shot the man and stole the car. If that was the car that he was in, that they found him in, I mean, look, stop with the nonsense, man. Say, serve a warrant on a violent suspect, allegedly pulled a rifle on the Marshal, prompted at least one to fire back. Now, I'm sure they unloaded in him. That's just how it's going to happen. If you're going to shoot, they're going to shoot. And sometimes, you know, there are situations where they shoot when you don't shoot. It just, look, if you live in that life, man, there's going to be expectations to come with it. 4 past cases come up in Shelby County records. He was cited for minor traffic offenses that same year. He had a felony arrest. Charged in that case included tampering, possession of a controlled substance, possession of drug paraphernalia. That case was not prosecuted. I'm curious. Early in 2018, had a traffic offense. His final case in 2017, unlawful possession of a weapon. This case was dismissed for lack of prosecution. Again, interesting. Weber uploaded Facebook Live about 2 hours before his death. Now, it's kind of small, but I'm curious if this is the rifle that he had. Again, notice the common theme, this color of green. Why is that? Did he just love green? Well, if you go and see some of these other videos and you see the memorial service and you'll see that green is a common theme in this neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? And again, it is what it is. You know, it said, last Facebook post appeared to show him driving, smoking a blunt with the caption, "What's the move? I need a date. Who wanted traffic with their favorite green heart?" Okay, so that green, again, common theme. I don't know if that's a college thing. Is that University of Memphis? What do they have to do with green? Let me know. Multiple Facebook photos on Facebook with guns and stacks of money. So why go to the collegiate photos if this is what's more recent, if this is what's more active? Again, people like to play stupid when it's emotional, when it's someone close to them. Again, you can go look for the shit for yourself. It is what it is. Again, this is like clips from the video. You can go and check the video. Yeah, and the people said he was saying kill. It was not. He was saying catch me. He wasn't saying that they're going to have to kill me, but he was saying they're going to have to catch it. Again, the officers' reports were injured. You know, it's like I say, this article covers a lot, but I kind of want to get to some of the other things again. Just look at it for yourself. Don't take my word for it. You know what I'm saying? Now, there's some of the videos here. Again, I'm not going to play these. You can go to the website and see yourself. All the links will be in the description. But a lot of activity happened after that. So it tells me that there was an active neighborhood, if you know what I'm saying. So very interesting. I'm sure that he had many ties in that neighborhood, and that's why they were responding the way they did. Again, Memphis riots, and again a lot of repeating of the same stuff. Said Brandon Weber 20, we're taking him into custody, but there's some different details in a couple of these. They said, as the residents gathered in the street near where the shooting occurred, police responded by forming a human wall. I know some people they were blocking off where he got shot in his yard, I guess, and people were upset about that. And it just kind of goes into the same details. But I'm looking for a specific thing. But it says, I was in Fraser tonight because Brandon Weber was shot 16 to 20 times in front of you. Yeah, this is the one. Tammy Sawyer, mayoral candidate. Again, using this shit to politicize this event, to bolster her campaign. Because that's all I feel is you can look her up and figure it out for yourself. Again, this is political speak 100%. I was in Fraser tonight because Brandon Weber was shot 16 to 20 times in his family's front yard. These key words, these people are smarter than you want to give them credit for. Now, their motives may be vile, but they're smarter than you want to give them credit for. On the same day as the Pulse nightclub shooting anniversary, and on the same day that the DA chose not to charge another police officer for murdering a civilian. Funny how they're able to tie all this stuff in there. Don't judge Fraser without asking the community how it feels to mourn their youth over and over again. How many of them niggas in Fraser was beefing with other niggas and other niggas was killing, but y'all don't talk about that shit? I'm curious. Memphis is, what, Chocolate City is what they call it. I ain't never been out to Memphis, but, we know what it is. Again, it is what it is. I'm familiar. Again, what do people when they're pain and trauma, when it gets too high, too much, when the city when the city has ignored them and their loss is too great and they can no longer yell at the sky. Again, selling you these dreams, and this is what kills me. This is what kills me about these people. These are politicians that keep getting elected or that you keep voting for or choosing or whatever it is to represent your city, and they have no good intentions for you. That's probably pretty much the end of that article. Like I say, I'm going to kind of briefly just kind of skim through any of these. And they say, let me be clear, the aggression shown towards our officers and deputies tonight was unwarranted. Again, skimming through these, again, this is the Washington Post article. And what I want you to really focus on is some of these titles. At least 24 officers injured in Memphis unrest after U.S. Marshals fatally shoot young black man. So they make it seem like, no, it's not the fact. It's the fact he was a young black dude, 20 years old. But he was an active young black man. He was active, and y'all can tell. Like I said, you go look at the pictures, just Google it. Go Google Brandon Weber warrants, and you're going to see a lot of similarities. You're going to see a lot of things that are going to tell you a lot of stuff. And anybody with a modicum of common sense is going to say, oh, okay, well, that's what's happening there. Even if you're not familiar with certain things, you'll be able to tell that why are these certain common threads associated with these people in this situation? Again, figure it out for yourself. Again, like I say, they are kind of saying a lot of the same stuff. So they're not going to name any officers involved in the shooting. It'll release names once the investigation is over. Say it's crazy. My cousin down there laying in the street, laying in the yard. I wonder how they would have felt if the guy who got shot would have retaliated. Would they be as upset? Would they be as mad? Or would they be out there trying to do something to him? And again, it's misplaced anger. And it's unfortunate. It doesn't feel good. I understand how it feels to lose a partner. But if he was out there down bad, it's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. Go get you that from the Dencho shop. Yes, shameless plug. But it is. It really is unfortunate. But again, if a person chooses this life, if you're not out there telling your little homie or whoever it is that, hey, man, you need to get out the streets. You need to stop doing that. You're so intelligent. You can do so many other things, or you have skills that can get you other things. You playing that life. You're gonna live by that life. You're gonna die by that life. Again, repeating all the nonsense. Again, a Time article, very brief thing. This one says, this is what it was. No appreciation for human life. That's what the warrant said on. That's what I was looking for. Again, this is a violent felon who obviously did not want to go to jail. They ended up, from my knowledge, doing what they had to do, not only to protect themselves, but protect other people around them in the neighborhood. So, again, it was active. He had weapons charges, had other charges. Somehow they got dismissed. And very interesting to find out a lot of more prosecuted. I wonder why. Said they shot and killed someone while executing a warrant. They're supposed to be trained to apprehend without deadly force. But when it comes to us, we always have to die. Again, activists and people saying that shit. Let's not be foolish. The word I have not used this entire time. There are gang ties affiliated with this situation. And you think the law is going to go play and be friendly if you got gang? Fuck no, man. Like I've been very kosher the majority of this video, but let's be real. Fuck no, they're not going to fucking. Come on, man. Let's stop the nonsense. They know you active. They're gonna handle you real active. Honor student Brandon Weber, 20-year-old, shot dead by U.S. Marshal. Again, I'm highlighting these because it's how they word these articles. You know, if you putting yourself out there, you posing with guns. I mean, I'm about that shit. If you got, what do you think the law's gonna do when they come to arrest? This man got a bunch of guns. You know, he obviously with the shit. We're gonna go in and risk our lives. He may shoot us, but we don't want to harm him. No, fuck no, man. They're gonna protect. They want to go home at night too. And again, it is what it is. If you in that life, man, it's usually not gonna end well for you. So I guess this is the chick that he was with. She went into labor as the riots were breaking out, which is very unfortunate. So this kid is coming to the world without a father. They're trying to get the trust funds and things going. I think she has 2 of his children. I'm not sure about the other ones, so I don't know who else. This is a picture with him and the mom. Again, you know, just kind of more photos from the scene. So like I said, you can check this out yourself. And again, like I said, a lot of them are going to show the graduation photo. They don't want to show it a good light, you know, respect and death and everything like that. But let's be real. If we're going to follow this story, let's be real about what is going on, you know. And again, go check out these articles. You know, you figure it out for yourself. And I know a lot of people are not going to like what I have to say, and I really don't give a shit, because you know what I'm saying is true. Y'all just don't want me to say it's true. Y'all want to justify this nonsense because they're going to say, oh, well, it's because of the white people. You can't say, man, I don't give a shit what they think, okay? Because, you know, y'all talk about black on black crime. We're going to start talking about white on white crime. Well, that's the way we divert the argument. I'm not white, so I don't know if you guys can tell. I'm not white. So white on white crime doesn't mean shit to me. All right, I don't relate to that, you know. And I understand you're most likely to be killed by the people you're around. Straight up, that's just how it works. But I'm tired of us doing this to ourselves and disavowing it and ignoring it, and then making it a big deal every time something happens and the laws are involved. Now, if it's an innocent situation, a young child, you know, some of these other cases, maybe Tamir Rice, or some of these other things that I can kind of see and understand. But when it's a situation, when this man is identifying himself as a gangster, he's putting himself out there, posing with guns and doing all that shit, because let's be honest. This is not to say that law-abiding citizens don't pose with their guns. But if you're catching charges and things like that for, you know, unlawful weapons and all this, obviously these things are not registered. They're not that. It's not you at the shooting range or anything like that. You posing with money and guns. That's pushing a message. You got a lot of photos of him with this flag. And again, that hood, it looks like that's their colors or whatever. Let's be real. Let's call a spade. And a lot of y'all don't want to do that for the sake of you feel some type of connection to it. And that's why we're going to continue to have those problems. Hey, man, look, I know this video went a little bit longer than I wanted to, but I just wanted to touch on that. We have to stop choosing the wrong martyrs. You know, black folks, we love to make a martyr out of somebody. You know, love to make a martyr out of somebody when it's so much easier to do differently. We want to keep living these crazy lifestyles that we live, and then something happens to somebody. Now they're a victim and they were attacked. How many bodies he got under that belt? I'm not saying that he's a killer, but obviously he don't give a fuck. If he shot somebody over a car, something so simple and materialistic that he wants, so I'm pretty sure he's gonna go get what he wants, however you want to go get it. Again, it is what it is, and if you want to live that life, man, live that life. I'm not knocking anybody. I got associates who probably still doing shit like that. I ain't talked to them in a while, but you know, because I'm gonna disassociate myself from that. But if they live in their life, it is, I wish you the best. But eventually, you know, the doors on those opportunities are gonna close, and it's gonna be a very unfortunate ending 9 times out of 10. Whether it's jail, whether it's the loss of life, or retaliation, or whatever it's gonna be. If you out there doing dirt, you're gonna get dirt, and that's just how it works, man. It is what it is. But with that being said, hey man, I'm your host Ed Honcho, live every night, 10 p.m. Central, then at 10 weekdays, Monday through Friday, then at 10 in the morning, 10 a.m. Central Time, everything Central Time. I'm down at H-Town, so that's how we gonna handle it. But with that being said, I'm finna get up out of here. It's hot. I got shit to do. I appreciate you watching. Hey man, let me know how you feel. If you agree, you disagree. If you disagree, I don't give a shit, because I know how I feel. But hit that comment section below. Let me know what you're thinking, man. I'd love to hear it. Man, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're enjoying the content. And if not, well, I'm sorry for you. You know, if you disagree, give me a legitimate reason why you disagree. I'd love to hear that. But with that being said, I'm chugging up the deuce. Y'all be cool like y'all be cool. It's your boy Ed Honcho, man, and I'm out.